welcome back to another episode of Louise's Bookish Adventures. Today is going to be an exciting video. It is basically my most anticipated book releases for 2021, but specifically 21 book releases for this year because it is year 2021. None of the books that I'm going to be talking about have come out yet, so everything that is going to be in this video comes out starting February 1st to December 31st. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of great books, and let's get into it. So I have my list, 4 pages worth. The first book I'm super excited about is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. It comes out February 16, 2021. It is, I believe, the 4th full novel in the Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. It's been a long time waiting for this book. A lot of my friends have been waiting a really long time for this book, but I personally have not. I actually only read the book series in 2020 during quarantine, but either way, I'm still super excited. For those of you that don't know a lot about the series, it is about a person named Farah, and she kills a wolf, and the wolf ends up being a fairy, so she has to pay the price for doing so, and gets taken by a prince named Tamlin, who is also a fairy, into the fairy world. And there she has to like be his captive, but in reality there's actually a curse that needs to be broken, and she is the key. However, you know, there are 2 other books in the series, so things happen, changes happen, more characters get introduced. It is an amazing series. I read it super quickly. Everything Sarah J. Maas writes is amazing, and usually I don't like books about fairies for some reason, but her writing is just so amazing. I get so enthralled and just enveloped into this world, and I just cannot wait for this book. So happy that I'm up to date on this series, because once that book comes out, I'm definitely gonna pick it up. I actually asked for it for my birthday, so I'll only be getting it in March, but I'm ready to read it. So the second book that I'm super excited about is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare, and it comes out March 2nd, 2021, and it is the 2nd book in the Last Hours trilogy, and I'm super excited about it. If you don't know, this is actually the story about Will and Tessa's children. So you have James and Lucy, and then you have Cordelia and all their like offsprings of all the people from the Infernal Devices series. And you know, I just don't know where it could possibly go, but I remember reading Chain of Gold, and I sped through that so quickly, and I cannot wait to get into the sequel. I just love Cassandra Clare's writing, and I feel like every time I read her books, I come out as a better writer, because I'm like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. So I cannot wait. I'll also be getting it for my birthday, so I'm going to try to read it as soon as possible. The third book I'm really excited about is The Serpents Curse by Lisa Maxwell. This comes out April 13th, 2021. Okay, this is the last book in the Last Magician's trilogy, and the Last Magician's book is about, like, it's modern New York City, and magic has pretty much become extinct, and if you like go into Manhattan, you kind of like go into this border called the Brink, and it's controlled by this order, and once you're in there you can't get out, and you don't have magic. So there's a girl named Esta whose entire job is to be a thief, you know, and like steal things from the order. And what ends up happening is she has this power where she can control time, so she goes to the past, and her next mission is like to steal the book that tells people about the order and the Brink. And it's super important that she finds it, because if like the order finds it or it's destroyed, then like everyone that goes into New York City is stuck there with no magic. And that's basically the premise of the first book, and I haven't read it yet. It's been on my shelf for a while, and I also don't have the sequel yet, but the 3rd one comes out, and I'm really hoping that I can actually read it before that, so that once it does come out, I'm able to read it and you know, finish that trilogy. And the next book I'm excited about is Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo, and this comes out March 30th, 2021. It is the sequel to The King of Scars, and I think this is supposed to be a duology, and it's basically about Nikolai. I haven't read King of Scars yet. I want to read it before it comes out, The Rule of Wolves comes out, so I can like read it back to back. But I loved Nikolai from the Grisha trilogy, so I'm really excited to see like a story all about him. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun, and I cannot wait for it to come out. Number 5 is The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. Comes out March 2nd, 2021. And all I know about this book, it's about this apothecary, obviously, who creates poisons for women who want to escape the men in their lives. And it kind of ends up bringing 3 people together, the apothecary and the person that runs the apothecary, and 2 people that she actually ends up helping. And it's all I really know about it. I really want to go into it cold. I've never read a book by Sarah Penner. I don't know if she has any books, any other books she's written. But I thought the premise seemed really interesting, and I like the idea that it's like women focused, you know, powerful women and people trying to escape like these abusive relationships in their lives, and you know, helping each other out. So I'm really excited for it to come out and for me to read it. Number 6 is Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard. This comes out May 4th, 2021. I read her other series, The Red Queen. I have to say it was not my favorite. I didn't like a lot of the tropes that were in there. I thought it was like stuff I've seen like or read during that time period. But the Realmbreaker seems, you know, like I actually don't know much about it. I'm going it completely cold. Like I didn't even read a synopsis. I just know like I liked Victoria Aveyard's writing, and I did read The Red Queen in its entirety. I just didn't like some of the tropes, but I do want to give this series a shot because it's in a different world, you know, different characters. So I am excited to see what else she has come up with, and you know, just go from there. I don't want to go too much into it because I don't want to like, you know, read the synopsis and not like it and just forget about it. I want to just go in completely blind, not knowing, and just see where it takes me. Number 7, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This comes out expected September 30th, 2021. I read her Caravel series, loved it. And this book series is supposed to revolve around Jack of Hearts, and I cannot wait. Oh my god. Like, I loved her trilogy, and I know I'm gonna love this book too. Like, I don't even have to think about it. We don't know much about it, actually. There isn't really an official cover for it, but we're fans and people are assuming it's about the Jack from the original series. So I'm really excited to see what happens, and I love her handwriting. I love her writing, and I love how it was almost like a struggle for her, because sometimes I feel like it's a struggle for me. So like I feel like, oh, she's grown so much and she became a published author that I feel like I can do it. So I cannot wait for the next book series that she creates. Like, I feel like she's gonna be like the Cassandra Clare, you know, love every book she's ever written, buy every book she's ever written. I feel like that's what's gonna happen with Stephanie Garber too. So I cannot wait. So the next one I'm excited for is called The Unbroken by C.L. Clark. It comes out March 23rd, 2021. I don't know much about it. I know it's supposed to be a series. This is the first in it, but based on what Goodreads says, it's the book description is: Terrain is a soldier, stolen as a child and raised to kill and die for the Empire. Her only loyalty is her fellow conscripts. But now her company has been sent back to her homeland to stop a rebellion, and the ties of blood may be stronger than she thought. Then you have Luca, needs a turncoat, someone desperate enough to tiptoe the bayonet's edge between treason and orders. Someone could sway the rebels toward peace, while Luca focuses on what really matters, getting her uncle off her throne. Through assassinations and massacres in bedrooms and war rooms, Terrain and Luca will haggle over the price of a nation. Some things aren't for sale. So to me, it sounds really interesting, you know, having these two strong female characters. One is in charge of a lot of people, and she goes back to her homeland. to stop a rebellion, while Luca can sway rebels toward peace. So it's like they're somehow interconnected, and I just find that super interesting. But I also like that it's like women focused, you know, and I think that's really powerful, you know, having a book that's focused on like strong female characters. Number 9 is Witches Steeped in Gold by Cianon Smart. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. It comes out April 20th, 2021. This is about 2 rival witches who have to band together to fight a common evil. I love books where like 2 people that hate each other have to come together to like, you know, destroy something, because sometimes they end up friends, and I find that super interesting. So I can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait to read it, and I think it's gonna end up being a really great book. Number 10, She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. Comes out July 20th, 2021. So this book is actually about, it's like a cross between Mulan and Song of Achilles. I have not read a Song of Achilles yet, but it's definitely on my list. And it's about these 2 children, boy and a girl, and the boy's destined for greatness. But then the boy dies, and so the girl takes over as the boy. So it's like, you know, how Mulan ends up being a guy for war. And that's basically all I know about it. I think I love Mulan, and I've heard great things of Song of Achilles, and I plan to read that. So I found this to be super interesting, and yeah, I can't wait to give it a shot. I'm trying to like diversify a lot of the books I read, so this is definitely gonna like branch away from what I usually read, which is mainly YA. So it's gonna be a nice change of pace for me. Number 11 is The Stolen Kingdom by Jillian Boheim. Comes out March 2nd, 2021. So The Stolen Kingdom is about this kingdom that's been kind of oppressed by these power-hungry people, but then there's a character named Merilith Braylern, and she finds out that she's part of like the secret lineage who has a rightful claim to the kingdom. And then you have the king's second-born son, who feels very uncomfortable in his position because he's considered the spare. And that's basically all I know about it. I know that the female character, I believe her name is Merilith, gets involved in the plot, and obviously things, I'm guessing, are gonna like come out, you know, that she's part of this like secret bloodline. I don't read a lot of books that have this type of plot, you know, where it's just the kingdom, but I thought it sounded pretty interesting, and so I thought I'd give it a shot. So we shall see. Number 12 is Grayson Glory by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It comes out June 1st, 2021. This is the 3rd book in Storm and Fury series. I think it's called the Harbinger series, actually. And it's about this girl named Trinity who has this power to speak to ghosts and spirits. And she actually has a guardian. And then it turns out that people are killing like these powerful people. So like more guards come in, and then she finds this connection with another male character. And I read the first one a really long time ago, but I remember exactly how it ends, and I'm not going to say it because I was shocked. But I do have the sequel, and I have to read that first and then finish this trilogy with Grayson Glory. But I cannot wait. I've been liking Jennifer L. Armentrout's, like, some of her books, and I know she has more coming out, so I may try some of her other books. But for now, I'll stick with this series, and I can't wait to see how it ends. Then I have The Cruelest Mercy by Natalie May. Comes out June 15, 2021. It is the sequel to The Kinder Poison, which I have yet to read. I don't know why, but I haven't. And it is about a girl whose power is to talk to animals, and she wants to get out of the kingdom that she lives in. So she tries to like go into this contest where she becomes the sacrifice, and she gets chosen. So now she has to like figure out what she's gonna do to get out of being the sacrifice. That's still all I know about it because that's the synopsis, but it's on my bookshelf and I intend to read it, and I'll definitely read it before the sequel comes out so I could be prepared. Number 14, is A Season of Sinister Dreams by Tracy Banghart. Comes out June 22nd, 2021. I read her other series, Grace and Fury, and I loved it. I went through it so quickly. I actually got the first one in an Owl Crate box when I did that a while ago. And I don't know anything about this book. And I don't have to, just because I love her other series. I feel like I'll love this as well. But we shall see what the synopsis says. So it's about a character named Annalise, and maybe the cousin to the prince, but her part isn't what she claims, and she possesses a magic so powerful it takes all her strength to control it. Ever as a country girl and has watched as each friend and family member came into their own magic, while hers remains dormant. But everything changes after Annalise loses control of herself and Ever begins experiencing debilitating visions of a once-in-a-generation clairvoyant meant to serve the crown. So basically, like, Ever and Annalise both have the same goal, which is to protect their kingdom from powerful men, but neither is quick to trust the other. So it's basically, again, two female characters, which I find is commendable. You know, books about strong female characters, and actually Tracy's other series was about strong female characters as well, like going against male stereotypes and male domination and control. So I'm really excited to see her other series, this book, and see where it goes. I'm confident that I'll like it just because I loved her other series so much, and I cannot wait for it to come out. Another book I'm excited for is Wings of Shadow by Nikki Palpetro, and that comes out July 13th, 2021. It is the third book in The Crown of Feathers, and The Crown of Feathers is about these two sisters, and one is Victoria, and her mission is to become a Phoenix Rider. But then her sister appears, and her sister isn't very nice to Victoria, and she appears and causes trouble, and that's all I know about it. But I thought it was really interesting, and I don't have the first one, and I don't have the second one either, but I really want to read them before the third one comes out and to see how it all ends and comes together. So yeah, I'm really excited about that one too. Number 16 is Kingdom of the Curse by Carrie Maniscalco. That comes out October 26, 2021. It is the second one in Kingdom of the Wicked, and I haven't read that one either, but I do own that one. And it's about this family and these two sisters who are witches, but they hide it in like this modern world. And one day her sister doesn't come to Sunday dinner, and so it's her job to figure out what happened to her. And that's basically all I know. And, you know, I loved Carrie Maniscalco's other series, Stalking Jack the Ripper, which I just finished. So I cannot wait to read this one. And I will have to read it before the sequel comes out so I can just pick it up and continue reading. Because my goal this year is to catch up on series, for sure. Number 17 is Nowhere by Brandon Sanderson. This is rumored to come out in spring of 2021. It is the third book in the Skyward series. I have yet to read the Skyward series. I don't even know what it's about, but I've heard wonderful things about Brandon Sanderson, and I have a bunch of other series by him that I have yet to read, so I wanted to also give this one a shot. I've heard great things about it, and Nowhere is supposed to be the third one. Is it coming out in 2021? I'm not entirely sure, but it's rumored to come out spring of 2021, so that is why I put it on the list. Number 18 is Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan, and that comes out October 12th, 2021. So this book is about a girl, a peasant girl, who is trying to save her grandmother from a cult, and she has this power to steal souls from people. So she goes with an alliance with an exiled prince who's trying to get back the dragon throne, and so they have to work together in order to both get what they want, but you know, they can't always also like trust each other. And that's all they have about it. There isn't even an official cover yet, so I don't even know what it looks like, but it sounded really interesting to me, and the idea of, like, you know, kind of like enemies to lovers possibility in there is always nice. So I'm excited to read it. Number 19 is The Witch's Heart by Genevieve Kornicek. that's what it sounds like. So The Witch's Heart is about a character named Angraboda who has the ability to see the future. And she's supposed to see the future for someone named Odin, and she refuses, so he punishes her by burning her alive. It doesn't kill her, but it leaves her, damaged and injured, so she flees into the forest where she meets a man, and they eventually fall in love and have 3 children. And her entire goal is to raise them on the edge of the world so that Odin doesn't find them. But now the story is about her either accepting the fate for her children or fighting against it. I found it to be an interesting synopsis, and that's why I put it on my list. And I've never read anything by this author, but I'm excited to see where this story goes. And that's basically all I got for it. Okay, number 20, we're almost there. Number 20 is The Descent of the Drowned by Anna Lal Din. This comes out March 15, 2021, just a few days before my birthday. It's about these 2 characters. I actually have it here. You have Roma, who is like, her job is to keep balance between gods and men, and that's basically all she's allowed to do. And she lives in this village where women basically have a purpose but no voice. Then you have Leviathan, whose only job is to kill in his father's name, who is a tyrant. And so their paths cross when the tyrant wants like this object that, if used, can destroy mankind. So their job is to protect the people they love. I'm guessing there's going to be like maybe maybe enemies to lovers or strangers to lovers relationship in there, but ultimately the story sounds very interesting. I really like stories about, gods and mythology and things like that, so I'm excited to read it and see where it goes. Number 21, the final book that I'm excited about, is Flamefall by Rosaria Monda. It is the sequel to Fireborn. Fireborn is basically about 2 characters, Annie and Lee, and both of them are orphans. And Annie's parents, I believe, died because of the Dragon Riders, and then Lee's parents died because of the rebels. And they grew up together in the orphanage, and both of them wanted to become Dragon Riders. But what ends up happening is that people from the past appear, and now Lee has to decide whether or not he wants to, be with technically his family or still be friends with Annie. And that's basically all I know about it. I've had it on my shelf for a while, and I actually was going to unhaul it, and I didn't. So we'll see if I'll like it, and then I'll definitely move on to the sequel. But that's basically all the books I have for 2021. 21 books, most anticipated 21 books in 2021. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you with another video soon. Bye!